would like to present in the topic the importance of vitamin E in gestation stage. My outline including introduction, objective, the deficiency of the vitamin E in gestation stage, the vitamin E on immune, hormones, and reproductive performance, my conclusion, and then the last one is my reference. My introduction, I would like to start my introduction. The embryo survival is dependent on the uterine environment and composition of its fluid during the luteal phase prior to implantation. In the early gestation is a critical period of the embryo development because of the nutritional management and metabolic change. It can affect on embryo survival and the return size. The greatest of the presented losses the generally occurring during the first 30 days of gestation. Therefore, the logical initially focus on the first 30 days post-mating. The majority, 30% of the embryos die within early gestation state. We can see from this figure, it shows the loss of the potential piglets from mating to weaning. We can see here in the early gestation, it's half 30% of the embryo mortality is higher than the middle and the late gestation stage. And the main function of the vitamin E was shown to be as an antioxidant in the maintaining the structural integrity of the reproductive system. The vitamin E enhances the release of the prostacyclin and is metabolite of the arachidonic acid, which inhibit in platelet and aggregation and increase the vasodilation by increase the blood flow to the fetus. The effect of fertilization, vitamin E has a positive impact at least into the in vitro on the development of early embryo, which are susceptible to be damaged by the reactive oxygen species, or we call it ROS. The objective of this seminar, I would like to investigate the effect of vitamin E on immunity, hormones, and reproductive performance of the gestation stage. The deficiency of the vitamin E in gestation state it has been shown to affect on reproduction in several animal species. It's resulting in fetal death and resorption. And the vitamin E deficiency showed that the death of the embryo was usually accompanied by the hemorrhage and is important cause of the fetal death. And the vitamin E deficiency also is associated with the increased the production of the free radical, and which result in increased the lipid peroxidation in cell membrane, and the preterm infants and the preeclampsia is characterized by increased the lipid peroxidation and diminishes antioxidant capacity is caused by the vitamin E deficiency. The vitamin E deficiency has two deleterious the effect on the immune response which appear to be closely associated with the increased production of the prostaglandin E2. And it's known about the prostaglandin E2 is can suppressive effect on the humoral and cellular immunity, and the girls have the deficiency of the vitamin E have to occurrence of the clinical symptoms of the meningitis, and agalactia, or we call it MMA. For this figure is showing the effect of the vitamin E supplementation on the number of the cases of the mastitis in the first week of the lactation. We can see here in treatment 1 is the pig received I will check later is pig or another animal, sorry. The animal received the less of the vitamin E than other group. It will have the incidence of the mastitis higher than other group. And in the other hand, in the treatment 3, it received the highest of the vitamin E than other group, and it showed the incidence of the meningitis lower than other group. And the vitamin E on immune. It is also essential for the normal function of the immune system. The vitamin E has been shown to regulate cell proliferation and gene expression, and the vitamin E a potent lipid-soluble antioxidants found in higher concentration in immune cell compared to other cells in the blood. It's one of the most effective nutrients known to moderate the immune function. The vitamin E modulates T cell function and is through directly impact to T cell membrane integrity, signal transduction, and cell division, and also indirectly by the effect inflammatory mediator generated from other immune cell. And this one show about the immune in colostrum and milk. This table shows the effect of dietary vitamin E on the composition of and the immune level of the colostrum and milk. Both in colostrum and milk, it will show the IgG and IgA in the vitamin E supplementation group higher than the control diet that have just only 44 IU. But the supplement one have 250 IU per kilogram diet. And we can see here, if the supplementation of the vitamin E is can enhance the level of the vitamin E, it can enhance of the immunoglobulin in colostrum and milk, and it can transfer to the piglet. And this table is show the effect of dietary vitamin E on the maternal plasma on day 0 and day 21. We can see from here on day 0, the tocopherol or vitamin E will high in the group 250 IU per kilogram diet, have higher of the concentration of the vitamin E than the control group. And if we have the vitamin E concentration in the high level, it can affect to increase the IgG and IgA. We can see here in the supplementation that it have higher than the control group. in day 21. It have the same situation. And the vitamin E on hormones. The vitamin E on the pregnancy enhancement, the embryo dimensions and P4 concentration. And the vitamin E act like a hormone is worked by to impersonating the effect of the progesterone on the body. In this figure is showing the effect of alpha tocopherol supplementation on the level of the pregnant diol. The pregnant diol can show the level of the progesterone. We can see here the white column is before tocopherol treatment, and the black column is the after treatment with alpha tocopherol acetate. And when we supplement or treat by the tocopherol, it will have tend to increase the pregnenolone than the white column that before tocopherol treatment. And this one is the effect of P4 and vitamin E injection on P4 concentration. In this experiment, it have a little bit opposite result from the previous slide. In here, we can see in the vitamin E supplementation, it have tend to increase just a little bit in the middle pregnancy. This one is in the, if I'm not wrong, I will check again. It's maybe in the rapid one. We can see here, this one is the vitamin E will higher a little bit from control group, but for the early stage, it will drop here. But in the P4 group or progesterone group, it will have higher in than other group or of the pregnancy stage. If we combine with the progesterone and vitamin E, we can see here it will have to lower than the P4 group, but it will higher than control and vitamin E group. And the vitamin E on reproductive performance. The vitamin E deficiency has been shown to affect the reproductive in several animal species. It's resulting in the fetal death and resorption, the membrane integrity, inflammation, signal transduction, and cell cycle division, and all processes that are sensitive to oxidative stress. The immune cell, and particularly enriches in the vitamin E, is like to protect the high membrane content of the polyunsaturated fatty acid, and it can against the oxidative damage is result to protect the cell in the body. In this figure, show the endometrium of the rabbit between non-received vitamin E in the figure A, here, and the receipt of vitamin E in the figure B. We can see it will have the difference of the floating here. It means the figure A have to measure of the endometrium less than the figure B that is received the vitamin B. Oh, sorry, vitamin E. And this figure is use the progesterone injection and without and or with the vitamin E in the rabbit endometrium. The figure A is use the progesterone but no use the vitamin E supplementation. For the figure B, they use the progesterone with the vitamin E. We can see here the vitamin E can enhance the structure of the endometrium. Then we no use the vitamin E supplementation. And it means the figure B can enhance the mature of the cell of the uterine. Also, in this table, it shows the effect of vitamin E level on the uterine weight. We can see here if we supplementation on 30 milligram, 50 milligram, and 100 milligram, we can see the 100 milligram vitamin E have the height of the uterine weight than other group. Because of the vitamin E can enhance the development of the uterine, so it can result to have the highest of uterine weight. And if the structure of the uterine have to development, and then it can result to have it will enhance the reproductive performance of sow. In here, we can see the latent weight in the group that we supplement in 33 or 66 is the highest. Then other group have the latent weight. The latent weight highest than the control group and 16 group. And the stillborn per liter is less than the control group and the 16 group. And the peak weight will higher than, this one is the 66 IU of kilogram that it have the highest one. But for 7 days of age for the piglet, we can see here the 33 and 66 group can have higher than control group and 16 group. And for the survival rate in both of 33 and 66 have higher than the control and 16 group. So we can conclude that the vitamin E deficiency has been shown to affect on the induced production of the prostaglandin, result to decrease the reproductive performance in gestation stage. But the vitamin E supplementation tendency to increase the level of the progesterone and can reduce the evidence of the MMA. Also, the vitamin E is the antioxidant. It can reduce the reactive oxygen species, and the supplement of vitamin E can protect the cell and induce the immune function, and it can enhance the uterine structure, result to increase the reproductive performance in gestation stage. This one is my reference, and thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. Any suggestion, comments, or question from audience? Susu?
Thank you for the presentation. My question is about the vitamin E that you mentioned. The vitamin E, they will increase the concentration of the prostaglandin, but they also can improve the progesterone. But for my understanding, if we have too much prostaglandin, will cause the constant contract of the uterine. So maybe we'll have a disadvantage on the pregnant cell. So what do you think of it?
For me, from my understand, the deficiency of the vitamin E is will increase the prostaglandin, and it means it can have the effect of the pregnancy situation, right? Actually, the prostaglandin is will, how to say, it will destroy the corpus luteum that is produce the progesterone. If we have the prostaglandin too much, I think it will decrease the progesterone concentration. That one is my understand.
Yes, sorry, I misunderstanding for this sentence.
Yeah.
Then I have the other question at page 16.
16. This one.
For the circle one, is the treatment provided with the vitamin E only, right? So
yes.
So can you explain that why before the 7 days, from the 0 day to the 7 days, why the vitamin E will become so much in the maternal or the gestation, early gestation stage?
I'm not sure about this one, but I think maybe in the early gestation. I'm not sure. Sorry. So can I find out some answer, because actually I find for this paper, but they didn't explain about this one. Can I find out more?
Try to find out next time.
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Okay.
I finished.
Okay. Chet.
Okay. Thank you, New, for your presentation. My question is first one is why embryo mortality is higher in the early stage? Yes, here.
In here, because of in the first stage is it's like the critical period, and then it's have to change about the nutritional and the metabolic in the body, and it's maybe have to affect on this state, and it's like this state is like implantation of the embryo, so it can have the change more than another stage.
Sorry, you didn't explain things very well. I'm not quite sure your explanation can satisfy, because you know, you have to find out why they will cause the death of the embryo. It's not just say have this kind of phenomena. Okay.
Yes.
Try to find out next time. Okay.
Yes, Professor.
叔叔把它记起来啊。S1.
Yes. Thank you, Yu, for the presentation. from all the slide that you mentioned, seems that all the slide mentioned about the beneficial effect of the vitamin E give a lot of the positive effect. Then in the slide 11, you mentioned it has also contribution on the regulate cell proliferation in the first sentence. Then if we say from this point, can we say that also it will affect on the, what we call, the animal can be longer to produce, I mean, the productivity of the animals can be more longer.
You mean it's like have many priority like that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, from the data, they can use the vitamin E to contribute the performance of the cell to have the longevity something. It's like it can survive long time than that we no use one. It can enhance about the cell, and it's like it can protect the cell, and it can like have longevity something. I'm not sure about this word. It mean it can have the longer life.
So in the another word, can we say if we provide if we provide the vitamin E in the cell, then in the cell, then it can be produced until 3 or 4 times parity.
Actually, for the pig, the cell we have like from my experience, they have 8, 9, 10 like that. If we can use more, that we can use it continually. But for parity 10, we can cooling it because it's too old like that. But that one is depend on the cell and the Q, I think. But for if we use the vitamin D, I think it can help in this one.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure.
I don't think that's why you understand. Sorry. Because I cannot understand too. Okay, Yolita? Yolita?
Yes, Professor.
Yes?
Thank you, New, for your presentation. Would you please come back to page 10? Yes, this one. I'm sorry, I don't understand is about the treatment. Why the treatment is providing higher the vitamin E in the dry period if we comparing with the lactation? Thank you.
For this one, I think I'm not sure about my answer, but I think for the dry period,
Is this for sow or for cow?
this one is not for sow, Professor.
Yes.
It's like for Yeah, I think I have one paper for the cow. I think this one because they use too much of the vitamin E for this one. But I'm not sure about the answer for why they use in the dry period more than in the lactation stage.
Okay, I have a general question that is, please put the notice on it. Say what kind of animal you are doing in the experiment. Otherwise, it's not. It sometimes will confuse. Okay. For example, this is for cow. This is for sow. This is for rabbit. Okay. Any other people? We still in. Do you have any question, Nurita?
No, Professor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Professor Watamas, do you have any question, comments, or suggestion?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chan. Thank you, Neil, for your presentation. Can you please go to slide 15? Yes, from this slide, can you explain more and in the level, the number of horizontal line? Is this in the sound or not?
In here is in the human. They try to inject the vitamin E for observe the level of the progesterone like that.
Oh, so the case number is the number of
the patient, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
So why you choose this figure?
Because I find out about the hormone is have not much of to use the vitamin E and show the figure or the table. So I choose this one, and it have this one for the rabbit one. For me, it's so difficult to find about the information for the concentration of the progesterone. And I find this one, and then I use this one.
In this case, I prefer you try to find out the mechanism of the vitamin E related with immune system and hormone. Why? Because if you find the mechanism, and then in the future you are easy to explain. But if you try to find out the other animals, sometimes people will argue, say whether they have same function or not. Okay, so this is try to find out the mechanism. Mechanism is lots. Vitamin E and selenium have lots of this information. Okay, yeah, try.
Okay, I have one more question for Niels. Yeah, even you show us many data in different animal species, can you make a conclusion that what is the vitamin E level that are good for hormone or good for disease?
For
you
the
can answer like a trend.
Yes,
Level trend. Yeah.
For the trend, I think the vitamin E can help allow the immune and it have many research that show the data about the hormone Chou. Is like it can, if we increase the vitamin E, it can increase the progesterone hormone, and then it means if we have the high level of the progesterone hormone, it can enhance the reproductive performance. And for the immune, they it's like it can about the metabolic of the cell in this stage. So if the cell have the metabolic and it's like have the many of the reactive species, oxygen species, and it can have effect about the cell and the damage on the reproductive performance. But the vitamin E, if we enhance it, it can antioxidant about the ROS, so it can help about the how to say the cell, and it can help in protect the immune too.
Do you have more, Net?
Because I compare with slide 10 in daily count, even they use like 10, 100, 100, right? 100. And that case also want to use for the purpose of reduce the mastitis in the daily count. But from the slide 15, if they collect the data from the patient, is also like unhealthy human, right? So the amount of the vitamin E is still very few compared with daily count.
I can see, but one of my suggestion based on Professor Waterman's suggestion is that is last time you give a presentation said progesterone is no effect on the embryo on the fetus. So now you say that progesterone will influence on the fetus, on the embryo. So these two things is ambiguous. So how do you explain this?
I think
that is another thing, you know, I have to mention to all the students, have to be very, very careful what you said before, because once you said it before, and the people will also using this, you said it before, to against you. This is in Chinese we said 以子之矛攻子之盾. That is mean use your knife to hit your own. You said my protected things is the best one, and the next time you said your knife is the best one. So people will say that why not use your knife to against this kind of protection things, and which one is more better? And this in your case, this is you suggest the progesterone is no influence on the not influence or this kind of result, but this time you say that the progesterone will influence. So what is really you think about? This is a very confused thing, you know. For everyone, you have to be. I'm not say you make some kind of right or wrong. It's because I always find that people will protect yourself always using the recently finding to protect yourself, but you forgot the previously you use another thing to protect yourself. So these two will be against each other. Okay, any other question, comments from Professor Widudu?
Yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, Professor.
Okay. It's interesting discussing about the effect of vitamin E on particular immunity. Okay. Well, in some cases in pigs or in piglet, the number of mortality seems to be lower when vitamin A or dietary vitamin A increase in the diet. Isn't something like that? Is it
Could
a
you
level of
repeat?
vitamin A in the diet will also influence the mortality of piglet?
In here, from this review, the vitamin E can enhance about the from this one. Just a moment, please, Professor. In here, for the vitamin E, this one is for 7 days.
The number of weaning.
You mean the piglet when
okay.
after following or
let's say the number of weaning.
The number
of
weaning.
Is it influenced by the effect? Is it influenced by the dietary vitamin A?
In here, I think it's not significant, but it's tend to a little, but have tend to a little bit, because I think it's like it's have the higher of the number piglet when it's after following also.
Okay. Because in your presentation you said that the milk produced by having higher IgA so that's why I'm asking you about the mortality. Is it also related to the mortality?
You mean the
IgG
and
the
IgA?
colostrum, the colostrum containing higher level of IgA and IgG. Okay, so it means that the immunity increase. So is there any relation with the mortality or the number of weaning?
I think it's
I think no significant. Okay.
From this one, in the vitamin E group is have higher IgG and IgA. I think it can transfer more of the vitamin E to the piglet. And from my opinion, I think it can enhance of the some benefit to the piglet, but for this experiment, they didn't show about the winning pig number, but in this one is another research. I think it can enhance, but we cannot compare about these two research.
Oh,
But
this is
for
two different research, isn't it? Two different result of research. So different journal, I mean.
yes, but I think it
Different
can
journal.
enhance the performance of the piglet if we supplement the vitamin E.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Actually, I have several publications is mentioned about the vitamin E can reduce the mortality of the piglet. Okay, so try to find out, because the mortality part is more experiment than the theoretical part. Page 3. Page 3, page 5, page 7. I try to understand one thing, that is why you mention about this, but you didn't mention about the function and mechanism. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Please try start from the basic knowledge, and then you can easily to protect yourself in the future. If your basic knowledge not have well understand, then it's not easy to protect yourself. Okay, page 3, 5, 7 all have this kind of things. Page 9 is a prostaglandin. Some people already asked before, and you also answered during the operation. During the operation, prostaglandin can help the operation go smoothly. So this is very important part. Otherwise, you cannot have prostaglandin go smoothly, and then the will not operation, and then the P4 will not go secretion properly. But these things you better to show the mechanism, let people to understand. That is more easy to explain in the future. And page 4, vitamin E. Okay. You mentioned about the mortality, the embryo death. You didn't mention about the mechanism. I still want you to explain a little bit. Otherwise, when you graduate from university, from this university, and then you will find you cannot easy to explain it. Okay, so only thing you can explain is the result, but you cannot explain the mechanism. Right? And then in the future, not easy to fight with your audience, or fight with your student, or fight with other people. I'm not saying fight is good words, but what I mean fight is to discuss or argue with other people. Okay, so please, someone asked us this question already before, and say what is the function, why, and actually they have a very good reason to argue here. Here is a very important one, because 30% is the highest mortality rate than any other stage. Okay, this is mortality rate is very high. Actually, it's not only 30%. If I understand correctly, that is more than 30%. Okay, because include 0 to 7 days, they will be more higher. Page 18. Okay. You already say it's a rabbit. Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I want you to, prepare for your experiment. Your experiment is not only on the vitamin E, of course. Your experiment is working on a lot of other factors, but maybe vitamin E is a key point. Okay, so why the vitamin E is key point, other than the other reason, other with vitamins. This is also very important. So my suggestion is please try to find out the information on vitamin E related with a cell first, okay, and then related with the function, related with mechanism, and then it's good for you. Otherwise, you can even until the last day during your defense, I mean PhD defense or some defense, you will find that you are not easy to persuade people to believe you. Okay, this is a very important. Try to find out. Don't just base on the very basic knowledge on the animal itself. Okay, that's my suggestion. Any other question or suggestion from the audience?
I think
Any
me
other?
already joined us.
Say?
Me.
Oh, me. Me. Did you heard some part of the news presentation?
I'm sorry, I'm already from dormitory, but I missed the first part.
Okay.
And so I have some suggestion on your conclusion. So that a little bit more confused on the first paragraph and the last paragraph. So as you see, the first paragraph, you comment that the vitamin E, they show the induced production of prostaglandin, and they will decrease the reproductive performance. But this word contrast to the last one. You say they will enhance the uterine structure and increase the reproductive performance. It's a little bit contrast one.
In here, if the deficiency of the vitamin will like the effect to produce more of the prostaglandin and is decrease the reproductive performance. But if we have enough of the vitamin E, or it's like enough for the requirement or more, it can enhance more the reproductive performance. This one is the deficiency, but this one is for the enough for the requirement situation. Yes.
Okay, maybe next time you have some like the level of vitamin A on that. So
thank you.
Here I also have the same thing. So some suggestion. Be careful about the MMA, because MMA is not so simple due to the progesterone. The MMA also due to the endotoxin. If you have mastitis, you have endotoxin. If you have metritis, you also have endotoxin. And galactitia is also have endotoxin. And the endotoxin will transfer through the blood system, and then from the mammary gland will go to the uterus. This is that's why they always cause this kind of big trouble about this mammary gland problem and influence on effect the uterus problem. And this is also happening in the pigs. Okay, you already have some report about this. So it's not only due to the progesterone; it's due to many some other factors. Okay, be careful about this. Any other question, comments, or suggestion from the audience? Okay, if no suggestion, 寻真，你有没有什么意见？
没有 no question.
Okay. 好。If everyone is okay, then interesting. 8:59. So it's 1 minute to 9 o'clock. We close today's presentation. Okay. See you next time. And I hope everyone can read, especially as a student, and read more. Okay. Try to explain what is a mechanism. Okay. That is more important. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night,
อาจารย์
everyone.
พี่มิวสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ See you next week.
See you.
See you.
See you. See you.
See you everyone.
Me next week. Come early.
I'm so
ที่ไป
sorry.
พะเยาเหรอ
I just go to
Sorry.
Payao
I
Kowloon.
just joke. Okay.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you, Professor.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.